Iguodala claimed by the Heat.
Uh-oh, you're stirring it up tonight, aren't you? We haven't gotten into a minute of play.
It's just a basketball game. Payton. Gary Payton putting the Heat on top.
You know, if there's anybody who benefited from the coaching change right away, it would be Payton. Payton looks younger, moving quicker, and more involved. Dalembert.
Yeah, nicely done as Samuel Dalembert, averaging better than 7.5, gets his first two. The 76ers among the top scoring teams in the league. In fact, they are second offensively, averaging 102 points a game. Udonis Haslem.
Well, Cheeks told us before the ball game, we'll gamble and give Udonis Haslem that shot. We want to try to front Shaq and then have the help come over. That was Weber's man, and they paid.
Dalembert again. And Haslem with the Heat rebound. They throw ahead, trying to score quickly with Shaq. And on a pass out to the perimeter, a whistle, a foul on Korver. First foul of the game, whistle against the 76ers. Philadelphia, with their 4 straight victories, have moved back to the top in the Atlantic Division.
You know, that's a very volatile position for Philadelphia. You know, and the entire Atlantic Division seems to be struggling. So if you get a good roll, you have a chance to take control. Dalembert trying to slap that one back, gets the goaltend.
And Shaq gets 2. As the Heat now with a 4-point lead.
Shaq, if you let him get that deep, and no matter how well you elevate and react, you're going to end up seeing the ball go against you more time than you're going to get the blocked shot. Weber.
On a beat from Iverson. C. Webb delivers. Allen Iverson with the assist, and in that statistical category, Iverson way up in the top 10, 6th in that regard. Ooh, Wade, beautifully done. Dwayne Wade seems to do that a lot. You know, you'll be talking about different players on each side of the ball, and then all of a sudden there's Wade reminding you, hey, I'm still out here too.
Well, you know, Wade kind of took a back role in the first Chicago game for O'Neal back, and they dominated. Shaquille dominated the scoring, but in Milwaukee it was Dwayne Wade and Gary Payton, and a lot of this from Dwayne Wade as he threw that one down. Tough to deal with Dwayne Wade because he is so aggressive and coming to the rim, and you see he's third in dunks.
Most of them in spectacular fashion. That foul was on Iguodala. That's his first. And Dwayne Wade averaging just under 27 points a game and shooting in the high 70s from the free throw line.
Right.
Speaking of free throws, these two guys, Iverson and Wade, get there a lot.
When they come with the energy and the attitude of attacking the rim as much as they do, it's tough, real tough to keep them off the free throw line.
Quick start by the Heat.
And if you want to get big numbers in the NBA, you got to be somebody that gets a lot of free throws. If you don't get numbers at the line, you don't get numbers.
C. Webb. Dalembert with the offensive rebound. Iverson slashing and scoring.
You know what he said on the way by? Shaq, get this.
And Weber steals as the Sixers were putting on some pressure. Korver missing for 3. And on the follow, Iguodala is fouled and will get to the free throw line. The Heat careless with the inbounds.
Well, the fans here all on their feet because what they want to see the Sixers do is give them better defensive energy and rebound the basketball. And we saw it.
That foul on Wade, his first. Iguodala with his first point tonight.
And we saw it, and Riley saw it, and that got Riley up. He had not been patrolling the sidelines, but he's walking now.
He's also lost his voice after 2 games.
Well, you know, when
he's
you're
not quite in game shape yet.
Well, yeah, he's got some conditioning to do. But when you're the president and you're sitting up in the booth, you don't yell and scream plays.
Payton. Shot clock at 13 for the Heat. This is Posey. Now they're down to 6. Udonis Haslem on the miss. And it's out of bounds to Miami.
Well, Coach Cheeks will live with that. You've got two guys going after the ball. You'd rather see that than neither one of them chase it and the Miami Heat get a second possession.
Posey looking for the inbounds pass, and he fires outside to Payton. D. Wade.
A little bit of a zone by the Sixers to see if Posey makes him pay, and he does.
James Posey's first points tonight. He's their leading shooter from three-point range at .447 and just out of the top 10 in the NBA in that regard. Korver for three.
What has changed since Riley has taken over is that in transition, the Miami Heat are a more aggressive team, particularly the guards. They run more to try to get that early shot. Shaq.
Oh, yeah. Shaquille O'Neal off the glass. Shaq with 4. As the Heat move out to a 6-point advantage. Payton guarding Iverson. And Miami shooting 6 of 7 from the field so far. Iguodala turns it over.
Looking for a lob.
And he lobbed over Posey. Saved by Wade, but the Sixers in transition. Tip dunk Iguodala. Three steals by the 76ers already, and 6:48 left in the quarter as Dwayne Wade gets knocked down. That's a familiar sight.
You know,
Miami
a coach knows who his money players are when they get knocked down, and he immediately runs out on the floor. We'll look back at a catch, but that's all it was for Dwayne Wade. Iverson on the quick effort down the floor, he couldn't quite get the spin on it that he wanted.
Samuel Dalembert called for the foul. The first foul on Dalembert as Wade rattles the free throw. 2 for 3 from the line. Tomorrow on NBA TV, the Pacers and Knicks. The coverage starts at 7 on TNT's doubleheader Thursday. The Cavs and Bulls from Chicago also on ESPN Radio, followed by Dallas at Sacramento. Coverage at 8 o'clock on TNT Thursday.
If there is a similarity between Iverson and Wade in terms of their competitive spirit, they hit the floor a lot. They bounce back up. They just continue to challenge, and that's what makes them so difficult. O'Neal running out on the floor early. This is when he likes to get the ball early down in the post.
And he's operating down there. The shot won't go for him this time. The rebound is out of bounds to Philadelphia. The 76ers have put together a 9-4 record here in the Wachovia Center for Maurice Cheeks in his first year back here. And he's got Moses Malone back, helping in the coaching with the 76ers, the former great star of the 76ers and the former ABA star. There's a look at Mo.
Legendary.
And so we have at least 2 former outstanding players from the ABA. We have Moses Malone there, and of course I have Steve Snapper Jones right here with me.
You know, you want to stir up too much today, don't you? You really want to do it. I mean, you must have gotten a tremendous nap this afternoon. Iverson got hit on that when he's continuing to come at the Miami Heat defense, Shaq or no Shaq.
That foul called on Payton, the first foul on Payton. Iverson's field goal percentage this year, 45%, and this for a guy who has a career percentage of .418. So he has really lifted that. He leads the league in scoring. Kobe Bryant second. There you see Dwayne Wade at the bottom of that short list. Gary Payton. Udonis Haslem takes up slack and then goes to O'Neal.
They missed Shaq in his favorite spot, which was right at the front of the rim, and now he's working against the clock.
Tell you, Shaq off to a good start. 6 points for him. We asked Pat Riley before the game, because Shaq is just working his way back, if he had any kind of minutes limitation. He said, about 25 or 30.
The one thing that Dwayne does is attack and relentless in his old attitude about it. And Allen Iverson just couldn't get quite enough on it, but Iguodala is always following.
For 6 weeks, I tried to convince him to stay on. Period. That's it. I don't like change. I don't like a lack of continuity. I think he was the best man for the job. You know, I mean, there's always change during the off season, but during the season, I don't like this kind of change.
And it was during the off season when rumors first surfaced that Miami was going to make the change and Pat Riley was going to step in and replace Stan Van Gundy. And at the press conference on Tuesday, the question came up again.
And his answer was, I don't like change, but change is part of life and it's part of professional sport. He was the president of the Miami Heat. He felt that they weren't playing at the level that he thought they should play. He's the guy that went out and made that big deal that started the summer off for the Miami Heat, and the players weren't performing at their level, Shaq or no Shaq. So Riley's in the hot seat, and we'll see if he can carry it through, as Dwayne Wade and company were within a game of going to the NBA championship a year ago. Wade on
with
the move.
Wade drawing the foul here off penetration. And regarding that game going to the possible finals, Wade was hurt. He got hurt in the Eastern Conference Finals, and Shaq, of course, never really recovered from that deep thigh bruise which he sustained on the final Sunday of the regular season.
You know, so they had the makeup. They really believe they have the makeup to get to the NBA championship. They've got a lot of work to get there because those Detroit Pistons are motivated to show that this is not a team that is a one-trip wonder. You know, winners a year ago, 2 years ago, and then runners-up last season. Detroit is playing terrific at this stage of the season.
Last 5 games, Wade averaging 30 points a game. You saw the change that the 76ers made. Salmons is in and Iguodala out. Wade way short with that second free throw. But the Heat with their biggest lead with this 19-11 score.
What John Salmons can do that Iguodala can't do is make his own way. He can make his own shot, and so he can go one-on-one. They try to force it inside and they turn it over.
As Shaq got a hand on that pass. Posey looking for the big man. He's got him.
This is not a good situation for D'Alembert.
And that's why. He was under a severe Shaq attack. That's 8 points for the big man.
If you let him catch it against the reed-thin D'Alembert, you're gonna get him punished, and you're gonna get the scoreboard punished as well. Iverson with a miss.
And on the rebound, Wade got knocked down, but still controls it. Gary Payton looks over to Riley for a play.
And see, they started the ball game fronting Shaq, and now Weber's got the job of trying to defend against him. Posey wide open.
So's Payton. And on the rebound, a foul call that's on Miami, and it's whistled against Udonis Haslem. 14 fouls as Haslem has his first.
Riley points to Posey and says, you got to drop that shot. You know, don't pass up that shot when we end up with the same thing. You might be shooting a better percentage.
The Sixers are not shooting very well from the field, and especially their top 2 guys.
Their 2 stars are 1 for 5. It's early in the ball game. They provide the majority of their offense, so they're going to get a volume of shots. Iverson.
With his 6th attempt, and that one goes down. AI with 5.
It's an 8-point lead for the Miami Heat, and you know, one of the things they're going to do to Philadelphia is see how they can deal with Shaq. So Riley loves to see the ball posted, and then they play out of it. They're looking for Shaq right now.
They find Haslem.
That was not a good decision by Haslem. This was a better one.
They're down to 2 to shoot, and Udonis Haslem bails them out.
He got Shaq the ball right under the bucket, and Shaq is pointing to Haslem saying it was his fault. Yeah, you got to catch those, big guy.
Salmons with 12 on the shot clock, overshoots the rim, and O'Neal gets it out to Payton, and the Heat in transition looking for a turnover, and a jump ball is called, and should they lose the tap, they'll get a turnover. Timeout taken, 2:54 for the quarter. Cheesesteak, Senor Jones? All right, John. Snapper. Ron Artest lets it be known he wants to be traded. Immediately, his trade value goes down because, you know, teams that are interested aren't going to want to give Indiana the kind of people they want because they know the Pacers are now having to move him.
Well, Artest stepped in it, and he is the guy that made the initial statement. Donnie Walsh has countered by saying, yes, there's been too much baggage, we'll send you, and they will make the trade on their terms. Doesn't make any difference what they think the trade value is supposed to be. The Indiana Pacers are not going to give Ron Artest away, and I think the statement of putting on the inactive list if they have to and let him sit out another season is true to that.
Dwayne Wade attacking again. The Heat now playing with Shaq on the bench as Alonzo Mourning has entered the lineup. Biggest lead for Miami.
Now, where the 76ers have to improve to stay in this game is at this end of the floor. They've got to do a better job of knocking down the shots, driving the ball to the basket. So far, that hasn't happened. Turnover.
Gary Payton unable to get to the loose ball. Iverson a recovery. They're down to 2 on the shot clock. AI got rim, but no more, and Alonzo Mourning the rebound. Wade again in the paint.
Oh my, coming at you 3 different directions and still able to elevate and drop that one in.
And that'll dislocate your ankles, right? You're trying to defend Dwayne Wade. Wade has 10. Great shooting by Miami and a 14-point lead, their biggest.
Somehow they've got to start getting Weber involved, get him going, and get an illegal defense, so a cheap point's going to come there.
With more on the Ron Artest situation, here's Lisa Salters.
Well, guys.
Paljon merkittävämpi vielä.
Tietysti näyttää tätä
Näin. Esimerkiksi tämä nykyaikainen palkkiometsästys. Minä vähän pelkään, että
And I got a guy that's always stirring up stuff sitting next to me.
Excuse me. Antoine Walker in the game for the first time for Miami as Iverson drives and scores. The basket good and a foul.
But if they're to get back in this game, Iverson and Weber are going to have to lead the way. Iverson looks like he nicked up his hand on the play, but the one thing about Iverson, he's got crazy toughness. He is going to come at you and continue to come at you, and eventually he's going to get on top of who's ever trying to defend him. Weber out of the ball game.
Shavlik Randolph in to replace him, number 42, and committing that foul for Miami was Gerald Fitch, 6'3" rookie from Kentucky.
Now, some guys are beneficiary of coaching changes, and Fitch is one of them. Fitch was seeing no time with Stan Van Gundy, and since Roddy's come on board, he has been in all of the ball games, making an appearance. Iverson missed the chance for the three-point play.
The Heat lead at 11. Less than a minute 30 for the quarter. Wade trying for the pass off to a cutting Mourning, and the Sixers back the other way. Iverson fouled again, going to the rim.
You know how outfielders go back for fly balls when they initially hear the sound, and this is what you have to do against Allen Iverson. You have to run back and decide where you can build your wall of defense while he is coming at you full tilt. Dwayne Wade has the same kind of relentless attitude. I think Wade's a little bit better at changing directions, you know, while he's moving. It looks a lot like a running back. Short again.
Iverson now 1 for 3 from the line in the early going. The 76ers made another change. They've got Kevin Ollie, number 12, into the lineup, and Miami coming back with yet another change. Jason Capono enters the game, and Posey goes out.
Well, one three-point shooter for another. Capono is a very good spot-up jump shooter, as well as James Posey. Posey's a little bit better at the defensive end. Iverson 1 of 2.
And 2 of 5 so far in the game. Fitch Wade trying to bail out with a pass at the end, and they're up against it. 8 to shoot. That's a 3 by Fitch. And Miami already with 30 points on the board. The 76ers allow 102 almost. They score that, and they give up that. Salmons. Ollie.
Well, somebody's got to come in and give them a little bit of relief. Kevin Ollie hits his first bucket. Ollie is a noted defensive stopper, a guy that can turn the ball over. So let's see if Iverson and Ollie, the combination, start forcing some turnovers in the backcourt. Here comes Fitch.
Has the shot blocked by Dallenberg. Now Ollie on the push. Iverson. They have lost their 2-for-1 situation as Iverson went in the air. They say the ball was deflected by Kapono. The basket's good and the foul.
He has been holding that hand since the one drive, so he's obviously got some sort of problem with his left thumb, but he is not going to stop attacking. Once he saw Kapono on him, his idea was to get that ball up somehow, and he managed to get it up and down, and a chance for another three-point play.
Iverson at 79%
Short again.
from the foul line.
He has missed them all the same way. And the fans want to know, Ivy, what's wrong with you? You don't miss that badly.
And we were talking about how well he's been shooting the ball this year. Final seconds of the quarter. Dwayne Wade. Wade gives it up. And Fitch rattles a 3 out at the buzzer. Dwayne Wade and the Miami Heat off to another good start here tonight, as they have shot the ball extremely well, hitting 12 out of 17. Spread some holiday cheer yesterday, hosting 15 children from the Community Education Alliance of West Philadelphia. AI treated them to cookies and milk and delivered gifts for the kids to enjoy. Just another example of how the NBA cares. Finish your Christmas shopping yet?
No. But usually my day is the 23rd or the 24th, so I got plenty of time.
Of course, you'll be working now Christmas Day.
Oh, you want to remind me of that?
Allen Iverson with 10. We both will be working Christmas Day.
So Wade, Kapono, Fitch, Walker, and Mourning are out on the floor as the 76ers counter with a little full court pressure and a little zone full court. They come back inside to Wade.
Overshoots the rim. Alonzo Mourning there for the rebound. 8 to shoot because the Wade shot didn't hit the rim. Fitch has been effective. He's got 5 points off the bench, and that's the most he has scored so far in his rookie season. Salmons.
Well, where the 76ers have to get going is with Weber and Iverson. And the combination of Wade and O'Neal have counted for 15 of the Heat's last 18, and now 20 points.
And where the Sixers also have to get going is on the glass. They were totally dominated in that first quarter. Wade draws contact and will shoot 2. First foul on Salmons.
One thing that Weber has always had and been very difficult to deal with is that jump hook, and when he decides he's going to use that as one of his weapons to get into the paint, he's going to get not only some scoring, but he's going to get to the free throw line.
Dwayne Wade 5 of 7 from the line with that hit. Don't forget, coming up, game 2 of our doubleheader as Shaquille O'Neal returns for the Heat. It'll be Gilbert Arenas, Antoine Jameson, and the Wizards in Los Angeles to take on Kobe Bryant and the surging Los Angeles Lakers, who had a great road trip.
Why are you elbowing me when you say surging Lakers? You knew this was a book trip, and that if they read the books that Phil gave them, they would be fine. Iverson's going in. They're going to check that thumb out. Kyle Korver has replaced him.
So Philadelphia down 11 after the Wade free throws. Salmons against Wade, and Shaq is there. The foul on O'Neal is his second.
And O'Neal just came in the ball game, and we'll see how long Riley lets him play with 2. In the Miami game, he got in foul trouble early. Wade coming out of the ball game, Shandon Anderson going in. But we'll try to get an update on the Iverson situation as he left the court.
Salmons with the first of 2 free throws. 74% from the line on the season coming in.
Salmons
is his first point tonight.
Is a player that really hasn't played that much in his early part of his career. He's been on the Sixers team for 3 years, but his first 2 seasons did not get a lot of playing time. But he is an offensive talent, and Mo Cheeks trying to bring him to the front.
Philly was pressuring that time. Miami with 12 on the shot clock have it to the big guy as O'Neal rolls in on Weber. Shaq with lift and a slam. That's 10 points for O'Neal.
Well, Weber tried to deal with him initially, and then Shaq spun baseline and a little pop over the top.
We got in that conversation with Pat Riley before the game about Shaq and losing weight, and he says, no, it's not so much that, is that I want him to be in optimum shape.
Well, he wants all his players.
He may not have to lose weight to get there.
Yeah, he wants all of his players to be in their optimum condition as Shaq comes in again. Left that one short. And there's a conditioning issue right there. So when he gets in that close and leaves him short, you know he's not right where he wants to be. Kevin Ollie.
How about Ollie off penetration, and in the collision, the foul against the Heat. Ollie on the line. Jason Capono called for the foul. That's 2 fouls on him.
Well, Iverson comes back out on the floor, but the one thing that Shaq likes to do in this close, a quick spin, then he's just going to elevate up. Chevrolet Randolph, you can't get that.
And Shaq was saying to him, perhaps, you can't touch this.
Oh.
Randolph goes out. They've got Dallenberg, Weber, Salmons, Korver, and Ollie drops the free throws.
You know, this is a 9-point game at this point, and what the 76ers want to do is find a way to slow down Shaq inside. And, you know, you let him catch it at point-blank range, you're going to get bad things happening to you. O'Neal again over the top.
And that time it almost looked like the Shaquille logo. 13 to shoot. Anderson defending on Salmons.
Watch out.
Dallenberg.
Nice exchange between Salmons and Dallenberg.
So after trailing by 14, the Sixers back to within 9. They have closed to within 9 a number of times here in the second quarter. Antoine Walker sends it inside. And the Sixers send it away. Salmons, and a foul. Anderson called for the foul. That's his first. Salmons with a chance at a 3-point play.
If you don't guard the guy with the ball, the result is you can be scored on.
All right, John. Well, Shaquille O'Neal has scored 12. Allen Iverson with 10, but he's nursing a wrist injury. But we now show you power basketball at its best.
Yeah, you know, Riley always had the one play for Kareem, Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, where you went to the center. With this guy, position is everything. And if you allow Shaquille O'Neal to get this deep, bad things happen. Nightmarish effort for the defense of the Philadelphia 76ers. So Shaq with 2 fouls, and he is lathered up. I mean, he is beaded and sweating like crazy. Let's go to Lisa Salters.
Iverson on the bench. The results of his x-rays are negative. They are now saying, the athletic trainer, that he has a left thumb sprain. X-rays are negative for a fracture. Back to you guys.
That's good news.
All right. but he has been back on the bench for a while they were waiting the reading of those x-rays. After trailing by 14, the Sixers have cut it in half.
They're trying to front Shaq, and Shannon Anderson couldn't find Walker.
Couldn't wait to unload on that three, and Antoine Walker with his first points tonight.
You know, I finally figured out why Antoine Walker shoots so many left and right wide basketballs. I watched him during his warm-up as we watched John Salmons and Weber connect or not connect.
And you watched him in warm-ups, and you observed him.
He doesn't get his legs into most of his shots, so he is a guy that shoots with his arm, and when you get fatigued, you have no control of your you don't have a consistent release point, and you have no control of the shot.
Coach Steve Jones with another nightly tip here on our ESPN telecast, and Capono comes up with a steal.
Look at Fitch.
Look at Anderson.
And that is what's hurting the Philadelphia 76ers. Too many unguarded efforts. They got to dig in defensively.
Sixers down to 12 on the shot clock. D'Alembert left open.
Dared it.
Now, he was wide right.
Yeah, I mean, he shot it all with his arms. I mean, you know, the engine in shooting is really coming from the legs. If you don't drive with your legs, and if you can't be consistent in where you release the ball, you're not going to be a good perimeter player. Fitch is tempted. And why not?
Yeah, that's his second three-pointer. 8 points for Fitch.
You know, they don't waste any time here. We got the blues already.
Well, that's the biggest lead for Miami in the game. And a timeout taken. 8 straight points by the Heat. And a 46-31 lead for the Heat, looking for their 4th consecutive victory. Welcome back to Philadelphia. Well, Wilt Chamberlain, on this date, December 16, 1961, began a string of 7 straight games, 50 or more points with the Philadelphia Warriors.
Yeah, the Chamberlain offensive records are staggering when you look at the book. One thing you'll notice from looking at the old video is that it was one-on-one. The question that all guys will say now is, could he have done it with the defenses of today? Great players do great things, and if we could bring back the Big Dipper, we would see maybe another stretch like this.
And he capped it with a 60 against the Lakers in late December during that run.
Iverson back out on the floor. Iguodala back out on the floor. Weber, Korver, and D'Alembert remain, and they've got to get some offense going. Here comes Iverson.
Oh, blocked by O'Neal. Iverson gets it with 7 to shoot. AI is relentless. Got tripped up on the way in, but the call is simply out of bounds to Miami.
Shaq wanted to reintroduce himself to AI and slap that one back as he did to start the ball game, but Iverson is going to continue to challenge. Payton back out on the floor.
Antoine Walker, D'Alembert has picked him up. That means mismatch underneath. Shaq is fouled, and 2 shots coming for O'Neal.
One thing you can do to help the guys that are playing defense against O'Neal is to try to smother that passer, get all over him and make it difficult to find him, but he's right there, point-blank range. There's nothing you're going to do with him other than foul him or get it thrown down on you if you let him get in there. Now, this is when the fun begins.
52% from the line.
What?
Oh. Wait, I think I know what the problem is.
What?
He's not getting his legs into his shot.
Nor does he have the same release.
Now, what do they pay for a coach? And now, right there, he's dead center. Shaq with 13.
It's not what you pay for the coach, it's whether the student is receptive. The principles of shooting, they are as old as basketball, but if you don't adhere to them, it doesn't matter.
It's D'Alembert on the fade. D'Alembert with 6, but Miami still comfortably in front.
You know, players are constantly trying to reinvent the game and try to say that it's new basketball versus old basketball. Shaq, again.
The Sixers thought they had that one broken up. They had fronted O'Neal with D'Alembert, who tipped it away, but they couldn't claim the loose ball.
So with 5:49 to go, what Iverson and company have to do is try to score the ball and then slow down the Miami Heat. The Heat have been able to do whatever they wanted. They're shooting over 60% here for the first half of play. D'Alembert
on the feed from Korver. Yep, and a foul. And D'Alembert with a chance at a three-point play. Anderson called for the foul. That is his second.
Last year, D'Alembert showed that he's beginning to get it. He's a big, mobile, quick, big man that can do a lot of things. And so his activity is what gives him chances to score at the offensive end. He can block shots. So what they like to do is try to keep him out of foul trouble and let him build on his game and his confidence. Three-point play.
9 points in the game, and his season high is 13. You saw Shandon Anderson on the bench, 2 fouls on him, but it was time for Wade to come back anyway. 5:28 left in the half.
Yeah, that's a bad trade-off.
Yeah, right.
Capono.
Oh yeah, Capono off a nice catch and shoot. The first points for Capono. And Miami back to a 15-point lead.
The bench has been doing it for the Miami Heat. Korver trying to find his first hoop, hasn't found it yet.
O'Neal clears. About 5 minutes for the half.
Watch out.
Walker with a throw ahead to Wade as the Sixers pick it off. Iguodala. And a foul. The basket is good by Weber.
Defensively, they make a great read on the transition, and they're able to keep that ball from getting to Dwayne Wade, and then they turn it into an easy bucket with some very good passing. And Capono, if you're going to grab him, you better grab him. Don't just ride him.
That's the third foul on Capono. He's out of the game as James Posey returns with a little less than 5 minutes for the half. O'Neal the rebound on the Weber miss.
And the Sixers having trouble completing those three-point plays as well.
Philadelphia, though, one of the better free throw shooting clubs as a team, just under 78%. But that's a clean block by D'Alembert against O'Neal. Iguodala. The Miami lead down to 11.
Watch
Wade.
out. Block that. you want to block something, come and get this. Has everybody behind us. Woo!
The Wachovia Center still buzzing on that move by Wade. It's 12 to shoot as Iverson drops in 2. 12 points for Allen Iverson, his first in the second quarter.
And if you're a Sixer fan, you want to see this game get down into the 4 or 5 point range. Find another lob inside to the incredible Dwayne Wade, but he couldn't quite catch it.
Iverson coming back. Miami a man short. Korver missing for 3. Shaq the rebound.
You know, Korver has these stretches where he can't find the rhythm, and he gets a little bit quick with this shot. Posey.
On a feed from Walker, it's a 3 for James Posey, his second three-pointer.
Oh, the crowd not happy with the defense. They let the Sixers know it. Back up to 14.
Iverson penetrates and then turns it over. Wade a steal. Walker in transition. And the finger roll dances home for Antoine Walker. A 16-point lead for Miami, their biggest. 3 minutes left in the half.
Well, you know what Philadelphia has to do is try to build on the things that they've done well, and every time they do something well, then they compound it and turn it over.
There's a foul called on Miami. Off the ball. Free throws when we come back with 2:55 left. 70% shooting for the Heat.
D'Alembert goes and takes that one away from Shaquille O'Neal, but he's not going to get this one away from Wade. And the Miami Heat or any other NBA team can be a great three-point shooting team if they're unguarded and wide open. Most guys are pretty good at spotting up, and the Miami Heat have collapsed the defense of the 76ers, and sometimes you have a week or so to decide whether you want to take the shot, but they're knocking down the threes. Posey hits the last one, And Cheeks is concerned about their defensive attitude. If they're in the zone, everybody's got to know they're in the zone, and then they've got to get back and cover the shooters. And you look at that field goal percentage from deep.
And how about overall? Overall, 697 for the game for the Heat, including 7 of their last 8. Weber has scored 8.
Well, the good news is Shaq gets a seat, and that means that Alonzo Mourning's back in the game. Walker's down as well. Udonis Haslem back in. So some relief for the Sixers in terms of the offensive pressure. Shaq inside, and while he's on the bench, then Iverson and company need to be able to make some inroads defensively. Make this team shoot over the top under some pressure and rebound the ball.
That's Posey, and it's another 3. 6 of 9 for the Heat from three-point range.
The key is under pressure.
And that's the biggest lead of the game. 3 threes for Posey of the 6 made. Weber finding Iverson.
You know, what Iverson and company have to do is weather the storm. They got 24 minutes to get back into this ball game. They got to find a way to do that.
Yeah, and it's at this end where they really need their improvement. At the defensive end. Dwayne Wade. Udonis Haslem missing. Iverson picked up by Payton.
The fans are all over Kyle Korver. They're saying, make a shot sometime. He hasn't made anything tonight. Asking for a shot here.
And it's a 3 if it goes. He's got it. That's the one he was looking for. Kyle Korver heard from for the first time tonight.
There's one thing about these fans here in Philadelphia. They will share their dislike with what you're doing in a second. So as happy as they can be, they can also be unhappy almost in the same breath.
Mourning kept it alive for Miami. And now Alonzo against Dalembert, and a foul on Dalembert. That's 2 fouls on Dalembert.
And we're going to see Stephen Hunter for the first time, but you know, you've got 2 brutes Dalembert has to deal with. One is Shaq, and that's enough, and then you get Alonzo Mourning, who is a punishing player himself, and the right arm, they say, pushed off. I got to do something. Guys are just backing the train up and knocking me down.
Salmon's also returning for the 76ers. 1:10 for the half. Posey against Korver. Payton.
Why not? He said everybody else is making threes. I may as well take a crack at one.
Loose ball foul on Haslem. 2 fouls on Haslem.
And as bad as it feels, when you look up at the scoreboard, 1:01 left in the first half of play. Weber has a chance to make it a 10-point game. If they can keep the Heat from scoring, they're back down to 8 as Shaq looks on.
And remember, they were down by 17 before this 5-point spurt by the Sixers. Dalembert on the line. And has his 10th point tonight.
That's Weber.
Now Weber on the line, and as Weber dropped the free throw in, that gives him 4 for 5. And back to the bench goes Udonis Haslem.
I am sure glad I didn't make that mistaken identity, because I would hear for it all night.
And that is still Weber. And he's 5 of 6.
8 1/4 for Weber.
And 53 seconds left in the half.
Trying to come to Mourning.
They go back into Mourning, 6 on the clock. Walker collects the rebound. And Miami keeps it alive, and now they've got a fresh 24 as they take it back out.
Well, Walker really did make a big effort to try to keep that ball alive and got it. Now he's trying to get a score. Wade got it.
Dwayne Wade picking it up underneath. An opportunistic basket for Wade. 16 points for him.
Here's a question, because he plays so well off the ground. Do you think that Wade was great in marbles as a kid?
I think he was probably great at whatever endeavor he found himself involved in. Iverson. Oh. And Mourning takes it out with a second left. The Heat unable to get a shot away as time runs out, but what an outstanding first half for the Miami